Hi, welcome to the new book review from Huub Neys with the natural and the unnatural. So before we actually start about the book, I'd like to ask you a question like what was your life before you actually started thinking about writing this book? Because I think there were some events that happened for you, right?
I've always been very curious about the world. I always wanted to experience things what I thought were strange, like paranormal phenomena, what's that? Like raw food, what's that? When I heard of it, I wanted to try it out. So I did a course of 2 weeks. So before I lived a normal life like everybody, well, not like everybody else, but okay. It was pretty normal in Holland. And as soon as I discovered raw food in America on a trip, my life completely changed. I saw everything in another light because I became calm. I became very clear in my mind. I felt actually sick. I felt sick before. And I started to understand that before I started eating raw food, I was actually pretty sick.
Right.
I didn't have a good condition. I'm not feeling happy.
Okay.
But after raw food, my mind cleared up, my mood cleared up. I was feeling better in almost every way.
Right.
It's very remarkable.
And was that when you decided I want to share this with the world?
No. Yeah, well, actually, I wanted to make an institute and teach people about it, but actually, I didn't know enough about it. I met a guy who ate even more raw than raw. He ate instinctively, so he followed his attraction to food. So that was even a next step in my evolution, in my understanding of the natural. And I decided to continue on that path, and that path ultimately led me to Indonesia, where I live now.
Right.
I do business with Indonesia, which makes it possible for me to live a very natural life over there.
Okay.
And the business doing with Indonesia took so much of my time that I forgot more or less about that. I wanted to teach people about this.
Okay.
And I decided to write a book about it. And that's the book which you now have in front of you.
So it's basically it's a biography about another person that you're talking about, isn't it?
No. It's my journey,
It's
my
your journey.
discovery in the principles which make a ruin out of this world.
Right. In which you talk to what's the person's name again?
Oh, I talk about an old friend. I explain everything to an
To
old
an old
friend.
You're writing the book as if you're explaining this to an old
Exactly, to an old friend. Yeah.
So and what is the book has 3 parts and what is the core, basically the core message of your book?
There's problems, which everybody knows everything all about. It's I don't want to get into all the problems. There is causes. The causes are pollution. We pollute ourselves, not only with environmental pollutions, but also dirts, but also with everything we cook and everything we process, all the food we process and we put into our bodies.
Right.
There is a part of pollution, toxic part in it, and so we pollute ourselves. We get addicted to these poisons, like for example coffee. We get addicted to nicotine, to all the poisons we created or we found in nature, which we're isolating.
Right.
They get into our bodies and they play havoc in our body. They make a ruin out of our body. So we get ill. So the causes are the pollution, the addiction to this pollution. We cannot easily get rid of this addiction. Everybody wants the cooked food, the junk food, because it's so sweet, it's so greasy, it's so good.
Talking about junk food, that's actually the picture on the front as well. It's like
that's the essence of the message, actually. Yeah.
The natural ape or the natural monkey.
Yeah.
Eating something unnatural,
which is the cause of all the trouble. Actually,
right.
That's when it started. That's when we sabotaged our natural instincts. And the essence of the book is actually we have to get back to our natural instincts in order to prevent all this trouble that we see around us.
Okay.
So because our food instinct is corrupted, we are not healthy anymore. Our sexual instinct is corrupted, so we're not happy anymore. We don't know what love is anymore.
Right.
Our mother instinct is corrupted. Mothers cannot take care of their children anymore, so we don't grow up happily. And these 3 instincts are so basic instincts.
Toxified that we forget all about the roots, where we come from and how we actually supposed to live on this earth.
Exactly.
Right.
And if we will know how to live on this earth, if we can re-establish our natural instincts, if we can live naturally again, we can create a paradise. We have so much information, we have so much intelligence, so much control over this world. We could make it a paradise in a couple of years if everybody understood the fundamental problems.
So is it almost like you eat the candy bar and you taste, oh, this is so good, but actually eating that candy bar makes your system like think like an apple, that's not sweet enough, that's sour. But in actuality, if you don't eat the candy bars anymore, then you find, wow, this apple is great, so much flavor, so much depth, so much...
There are people now who can't even eat fruits anymore because they're so addicted to these candy bars, to the cooked food. And if they would, it's just like an addiction to cigarettes. If you stop smoking cigarettes, then you have to get off of it. You're in trouble for a while. But once you are off of it, you thought, why did I ever smoke? It's so much better without. I have a better condition. I can breathe better. I feel healthier. And it's the same with food, with cooked food.
So it's to inspire people in that.
Exactly.
In that way.
Yeah. Everybody should eat raw food. Everybody should eat instinctively raw food, but that's a step maybe too far. If we go back to the original foods, which you see here, with dried vegetables, nuts, pure, unpolluted food, then everything will start to change. Everything will develop in a better direction.
I think that's a great message to end with. I know it's very short, but we have limited time. So thank you very much for visiting here. I really appreciate knowing you, and I've read the book myself. I must say it's a big book and it's a long book, but it's very, very interesting because it actually makes you think about what you're actually doing. Why am I eating this candy bar and why do I not choose the apple? I know it's better for me. So I loved it. I really enjoyed reading it, and I'm sure you will do as well. Thank you, and see you next time on the new book review.